we get asked on average to take in 700 babies a year. And that's generally half the number of the people that are asking us, because they find places for the girls.
Right.
So it would be, if they couldn't find places for the girls, it would be 1,400, and that's just one animal rescue centre. You know, they're always told, oh, the farms will take them back.
Right.
The farms will find them homes. The farms will
That's
do this
what
for
they
them.
claim.
But actually, it's we know where they're going to end up. You know.
Yeah. So what would you say the impact of hatching projects is on the sanctuary?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, when you think like those numbers I gave earlier, if you're asked to take in 700 birds, these are not adult birds, so these are young birds. So first of all, they have to be kept. These are in ICUs, so we have to have heat lamps running. They have to have baby food. We have to prepare for the next stage, which is generally small runs and stuff. And then from there on, you know, at some stage they will go out at the sanctuary. But this is not like taking an adult bird in that within 21 days is out living at the sanctuary, you know, after quarantine. This is like.
So it's a lot of staff time.
Yeah.
And a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's costing you.
Yeah, always. And then of course you get the ones where we've just had this this case where a little tiny newborn was cracking itself out of the shell and was pulled out of the shell, little cinnamon, and they broke the ankle and I think the knee.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to cost thousands. That's going to cost absolute
vets.
thousands too. And is the best avian vet in London.
And that was a hatching project at the nursery school.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
How ridiculous. How ridiculous. I mean, I was a nursery teacher for a while, and Ofsted clearly used to say they did not like the idea of small animals at nursery schools because of how rough. Not deliberately, children. They just don't know when they're playing with each other.
Yeah.
They used to say it was it was inappropriate to have these little animals.
Yeah,
So
which
this
is what the RSPCA says as well, isn't it? So what would you say to a teacher who was considering doing a hatching project with their students? What would you advise them?
I would always say this is 100% against any form of animal welfare. If you believe in animal welfare, if you believe in the rights of animals, this should not be happening. There's no budget for vet fees. The school never ever pay the vet fees when these little birds are.
Yeah.
And generally when there's a little poorly, they're euthanized. That's it. So if you look at tadpoles, in frog spawn, you can see the growth of that little creature, and then afterwards, you see an egg for how many days, and then one day, voila, chick. You don't see any of the growth
And
at
there's
all.
no mother, no parenting.
Yeah, because mum talks to children through the egg before they're even born. They've taught them so much before they're even born, you know, all this intricate little language of mum talking through the egg.
And you can also use wild nest boxes
Oh,
of
yeah.
birds and with webcams in.
It's only £200, whereas the hatching projects are generally about 700.
Right, so it's more cost effective.
Yeah,
it's
it's more-
showing young birds being brought up by their parents in a natural environment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it happens every year. It's one investment, and then you've got it there and there and there, and of course you haven't got any worries about what those chicks are going to go off and do. So if you're teaching people to be kind, this is not being kind at all, because you've got no welfare budget, you've got no veterinary budget, and we know where they're going to end up. There's one place they're going to end up. There's so few of it who make it out to a forever home, you know, especially when it comes to the boys.
The teachers think through the consequences of these projects before they embark upon them.
Without a doubt. And also, I think for the very good teachers that are against it, they have got to speak out. They've got to tell their heads why. You know, this is not great for welfare. This is really poor, lack of resources, and actually it's teaching the children zero. You know, this is not enrichment in children or animals' lives. This is just like one of the most, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. You know.